So starting this Saturday, 42 million people are at risk of losing federal food and nutrition benefits under the SNAP program. WIC, another food assistance program for women and children, could also run out of funds next week. More than 24 states have filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration over its decision to suspend SNAP funding. And as Jackie mentioned, this comes after the USDA announced it would not issue November benefits because of the shutdown, despite having a $6 billion contingency fund. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri has introduced a bill that would fund SNAP until the shutdown is over. The bill is co-sponsored by Democratic Senator Peter Welch of Vermont.
For a lot of people in this building, this is sort of a game. You know, it's like, oh, who's ahead, who's behind, as if it's a horse race. It's not a horse race. 42 million people are about to go without food, including a lot of children. In my state, it's 650,000 people. I mean, that's extraordinary. It's 12% of the American population. And that's before we even get to people like the military who are not going to get paid, air traffic controllers who are now no longer getting paid. I mean, they've got families too. All of these people should be paid.
As Senator Hawley mentioned, federal workers who keep air travelers safe are also feeling the pinch. As of yesterday, air traffic controllers are no longer receiving a paycheck, and TSA officers missed their first full paychecks last Friday. And Vice President J.D. Vance said yesterday that military members will get a paycheck this Friday, but didn't say where the money would come from. Active duty troops could start going without pay by November 15th.
So Donnie, these government shutdowns, in Washington, they are, it's sort of political gamemanship. Who's getting the best of whom? Right now, the Democrats appear to be getting the best of the Republicans. And you're starting to see it in the poll numbers. But as Josh Hawley said there, this isn't a political game.
You believe
the stakes couldn't be higher. This is about whether people in Josh Hawley's state, people in Tommy Tuberville's state, are able to feed their families. It's about whether people in Missouri and Alabama are able to fly and fly safely in and out of their states. I mean, you could go down the list of things that are being impacted, and yet for some people like Tommy Tuberville, this appears to be nothing more than a game.
There's somebody that's going to put an end to this. I think it's Donald Trump. I think he's going to start to feel this, and he's going to start to understand. He's going to talk to a lot of his people, and he's going to see, you know what? My numbers are starting to slip. This does, at some point, it creeps into the ether, and to the point of when people stop eating, when they don't get their Medicaid. That's more than creeping into the ether. That's really creeping into people's homes. And I think Donald Trump at some point is going to go enough. He's been very quiet on this. He's literally traveling the world. He's doing his world diplomat thing. I think when he gets home, and I think next week when there are midterms, and obviously they're in different states, it's Spanberger, it's Mikey Sherrill.
Right.
I think when the Democrats win, he's going to say, you know what, guys, let's get this done.
Yeah, if the Democrats win there, that certainly would be a wake-up call. I'll tell you, Ed Luce, you've written about Donald Trump's luck. I would be the last person on the face of the earth to say that luck will ever run out, because I've made so many calls about Donald Trump's political career post 2017 that just were wrong. You talk about the political economy of Trump's luck. I will say, though, a lot of things are coming together at the same time. We could talk about bulldozing the White House East Wing, building a grand golden lined ballroom. We could talk about a $20 to $40 billion bailout of Argentina. We could talk about farmers up in arms and Republican senators up in arms about the importation of Argentinian beef. We could go down a long laundry list. But all that feeds in inflation. All that feeds into, look at these numbers, and these are the numbers that, of course, beat Joe Biden, and it was Joe Biden's economic approval rating dipping below 40% that ended up costing him the presidency. Here you have the Quinnipiac poll showing him at 38%, Reuters 35%, The Economist 37%, AP 36%, CNBC 42%. That's his economic approval rating. And you can't help but just think, everybody, independents hate a government shutdown. It means that the parties can't work together. And it's kind of hard to blame the other party if your party has a monopoly of power in Washington, D.C. in all three branches.
Yeah, look, if there weren't an AI gold rush going on, whether you think it's a huge bubble or not, this is something that started before Trump became president, but has been really building up and would be happening anyway. It's what economists call a secular trend, not a cyclical trend. But if this wasn't happening, if the NVIDIAs and the Apples and the OpenAIs and the Microsofts, et cetera, were not rolling out unprecedented investment numbers, America wouldn't have been growing this year. It might actually be marginally negative if you look at the breakdown of the numbers. So this is just that's just a pure windfall for Trump. The uncertainty that he's introduced into the business investment outlook through these trade wars. I mean, we're going to get a meeting later today, well, tomorrow, but tonight our time with Xi Jinping. But the uncertainty he's introduced is really bad for growth, but he's been flattered by this AI windfall. I think that luck is something Napoleon said was the most important quality in a general, in one of his generals. It's that sort of weird thing that either somebody has bad luck or good luck. Trump was born lucky. He might deserve to have a bad economy, but those of us who keep forecasting recessions that don't happen can't bank on them happening in the next 12 months. This is not necessarily how things go. He's a lucky man.
Yeah, my reporting lines up with what Donnie actually just said, that I think we'll see next week sometime as this November 1st deadline arrives and we see the benefits cut and Trump returns from Asia and I think has less of a foreign policy focus. I've been told by aides he'll be more engaged, perhaps, on the shutdown. To this point, he's...
Now, are they worried? Are aides starting to get a little worried?
Yes, there's some anxiety growing here. It was a deliberate strategy from the president to not be involved early on. They thought the Democrats were going to take the blame. They thought the Democrats would fold. He wanted to appear sort of above it. We saw the threats with Russ Vogt, like we're going to slash the federal government. That's largely not come to be. But there is a sense, as this has dragged on and as the real-world consequences begin to pile up, they can read polls, too. Some aides have told me in the last couple of days, some anxiety is starting to build that he is going to take more and more of the blame here because he does seem so detached. Focusing on foreign policy, that's one thing. White House ballroom is entirely another. And there's a sense these are bad storylines for him. Probably look to next week for the president to try to step in more. Whether there's a deal or not remains to be seen.